Welcome to another Let's Get a Clue. Let's get a clue about the components, the length, the uniqueness, and the ease of a new game. Well, at least a new for you game. Today, we're going to be looking at something different again from the previous choices. Today, we're going to be looking at a game that is made specifically for 2 players. Our last game that we looked at was a party game, which could be played with multiple players, up to 7, and if you bought more of the same game, you could even go 14, 21, well, it get a little crowded at 21, but you know what I mean. But this time, especially with everything going on in our world today, you might find yourself needing a game that's just for 2 players. Now this game is going to represent a whole group of games, all the Patchwork games. Mine here is Patchwork Express, which is a little quicker than the others, just like Express would tell you. But all the Patchwork games are for 2 players. That's what they are created for. And I'll mention a little bit about what's the difference between them, which is very little. It's all cosmetic, basically. But we're going to be looking at Patchwork. So, I will tell you that the creator, Uwe Rosenberg, is a very well-known game designer, and except that he is more often known for his designing of very big, thinky Euro games. Those are those big ones with lots of things to keep track of and all, several hours of gameplay. But this is not one of them. Okay? Just know that. So, C for components. What do you get in this box? Well, like I said, this is the Express one, so it's a small box. It's not a big box, but it holds a lot of game in it. First of all, you'll have the game board right there. You start at A, you work around to Z. That's the game board. But each person, 2 players, will have their own board to make their own quilt. Okay, making their own quilt on one of these boards. And in the box, so that you can put this on these boards, you're going to have an assortment of patches. A bunch of colorful patches and some blue patches that actually get used later in the game. You start off with the colorful ones. Now, you see, these are all different shapes, and you would, in your turn, pick one, buy it, and place it anywhere on your quilt, okay? And you're trying to create a complete quilt with as many points as you can get. Now, the currency to buy quilt patches, this one will cost you 6 buttons. Buttons are another component. These are the buttons that you use to buy the patches. Okay? So you have button cure. My brain just went. I'd say currency. It's been a long day. It's late evening now. To buy patches, you have the patches, you have the buttons, you have the boards, you have the main board, which is basically the timing, and then you also have, you each have a little token to move on this board, and the neutral token, which is used to show which patches you can choose from. It moves around, and the 3 in front of it are the ones that in your turn you're allowed to decide if you want to buy them. And so that and the rules are all that you're going to find in that box. And the rules have a lot of pictures, which is nice. It helps explain things and show what they're talking about. Okay, so the components, that's what you're going to find in the box. And you really, I mean, there's no insert. This is the stuff that you're going to get. Okay, so those are components. Length of play. The express box says 10 minutes. I have never had it go that short. I would say more like 15 once you know what you're doing. 20 if you're learning it. But still, it's a very short game. It's a quick game. The difference between the Patchwork Express that I have and the regular Patchworks is that the square is smaller. The quilt is smaller by 2 squares. This is a 7 by 7, and the regular Patchworks are 9 by 9. That's the difference. That's the only difference. So they will take a little longer to play, but they're still not going to be a long game. If this one takes 20 minutes, they would take 30. You know, we're not talking hours here. We're talking minutes. So length is pretty good. It's a quick game, and excuse me. Components, C, L, length, U, uniqueness. Did you notice something about these shapes? Do they remind you of something? Maybe like Tetris? They're called Tetris style pieces, or polyominoes is the technical term. Took me a little while to figure out how to remember how to say polyomino. But they're just, all you're doing on your quilt is trying to get as much covered with these different shapes. They're all different shapes. Okay? So, uniqueness, if you ever like, I didn't mind playing Tetris. I hated it when it kept on getting faster and faster and faster. If they had just kept on going normal speed, I could go on forever just going normal speed, for giving me time to figure out where I want it. While in this game, you have time. You pick the thing and you go, where do I want to put it on my board? You're not being rushed by some electronic machine. You're choosing yourself when and where you want to put it, and it can go anywhere on your board. It can't go off the board. It can't cover another piece. It can go anywhere else. So uniqueness, you understand the concept of Tetris. You know, you're trying to fit things in, and you know what a quilt is. So you know, it's a quilt. You know, so uniqueness. The theme kind of is really painted on. It's just a bunch of Tetris pieces that you're putting together and trying to put them all together as best as you can to cover up your entire board. What's the difference between all the different patchworks? Well, there's the original patchwork. Then there's the Patchwork Americana, which is basically shades of red, white, and blue. Then you have the Christmas patchwork, which of course is Christmas colors and patterns. And they just come out just now. I don't even know if you can get it. It's pre-ordering it right now. Is a Halloween version, so it has all the different Halloween patterns and colors. And then you have this one, which is the Express, which is generic, a mixture of colors. And the only difference is the colors. The game is the same. So any of them that you feel like, you see and you like or you prefer, you can get that one. It doesn't matter. Really, it doesn't. Okay, so that's uniqueness. And E. Easy to learn, easy to play and teach, easy to find, and easy on the pocketbook. Well, let's see. I am going to, again, I forgot to check the current price. Yeah. Oh, wow. Does that A store not have it right now? Let me see, because it's not showing up on Board Game Geek. So it might have one of the others. So let me just kind of Patchwork game. Okay. Oh, wow. They've got a good price for the Americana one. Okay. Let me give you that one. Okay. So easy to learn and play. Again, I tell you, lots of pictures. It really explains it really well, really easily. It's not a hard game to learn. It's not a hard game to teach, and it's definitely not a hard game to play. And to find, I just went online, and the original version is selling for $30, which is a little bit chunk of change. But the Americana version, wow, the Americana version is selling for around 15. So if you like the red, white, and blue with a little bit of yellow, stars and log cabin and little flags and stuff, that's $15. The one that I have, the Express, is selling for about $14, which is also a very good price for that. So it's easy to find because right there it is. I just found it in that amount of time. And easy on the pocketbook. If you want the original version, it's a little more expensive. It's the full retail is $35, but they're selling it for $30. But you can get these other ones, the secondary one, the other colors, or the Express for $14, $15, which again is a wonderful price for such a game. So there you have it. C for components. What in the world is in that box? L for length. How long is this going to take me to play? U for uniqueness. Does it remind me of anything else? And E for ease. Easy to learn, easy to teach, easy to play, easy to find, easy on the pocketbook. And that, my friend, is a 2-player. It's specifically designed for only 2 players. And it's a great game. Patchwork. Whether it's Express, Americana, the original, the Christmas one, the Halloween one, they all play the same. They all are the same. Get whichever one you prefer. Have a wonderful time. I'll see you next time at Let's Get a Clue about something new. If you like this, subscribe. Underneath here someplace there's a subscribe button and a little bell to be reminded when a new video gets put up on YouTube. And of course, if you liked this particular video, you can click the like button, and all of this will help these videos show up on your feed much easier and quicker. And have a wonderful day, evening, and tomorrow. Bye.